Gentlemen, you don't have enough talent to win on talent alone.
Hello, and welcome to the Town Alone podcast brought to you by The Wheel. I'm your host, Adam Hess, and with me, as always, he was recently carted off the Bears practice facility, and he does not get that reference yet. It's Tyler Carcara. Tyler, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. I think, I was recently escorted from the Bears practice facility. Is it because there was thunder and lightning in Chicago, and they had to shut practice down?
No, it was someone just less than 2 hours ago had a knee injury and was carted off the field.
Oh, God. I just woke up 30 minutes ago. I didn't check the Bears news. No.
Recent free agent signee Kobe Bryant
No.
carted off with a knee injury.
Oh, no.
Figured you hadn't seen that yet.
Oh, no. Now, 45 minutes ago, we did get a Sports Illustrated headline, Kobe Bryant injury update from Rome Odunze is promising news for Bears. So...
I would love if they did that. They cut to it, and Rome Odunze is wearing like the stethoscope and that weird little like reflective plate they used to wear.
Yeah, like the 50s doctor.
Yeah.
After practice, Odunze told Kay Adams that Bryant, quote, should be fine. Oh. Cool.
His humors were just out of whack. They needed to leech him.
He had too much yellow bile.
Yeah. After some bloodletting, his knee was perfectly fine again.
Yeah.
Hey, so can I tell you my reveal on podcast that I teased to you before we started recording?
Yeah.
So you and I have very famously had an intense, blood rage fueled argument about if you should deadlift or not.
I mean, you were blood raged about it. I was just like, don't do it.
I think you said deadlifting is bad, and I said actually deadlifting is good, and you went okay. Basically, but,
and then you kept going, and
probably,
and then it was I'm not mad. Don't put it at the newspaper that I'm mad. That's Adam.
I'm the modern day drill.
Deadlift.
I was at the gym today.
Yeah.
Doing Romanian deadlifts.
And
I
Romanian deadlifts. Is that like
stiff leg deadlifts?
Is that like deadlifts, but like you're supporting Russia while you do it? Like what is that?
Yeah, it's deadlifts, but you do it in the shell of a burned out car.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I completely shredded my back on my last rep.
Oh no.
I like my hamstrings just gave out and the weight distribution went off and I lunged and destroyed my back. It was my last rep. I pushed it one rep too far and it hurt so much I couldn't breathe. But you'll be happy to know I played it off like nothing was wrong. Just casually walked around the bar, put the weights back like a totally normal person, not like a stick figure trying to bend over to re-rack a 45-pound weight.
Uh-huh. This is why I don't deadlift. It's not worth it. I had a trainer one time when I was in high school, and I was doing like legit training for golf. So it was a lot of mostly core stuff, but still, we would do the occasional deadlifts. And he was like, "Look, at the end of the day, it's not worth getting hurt." He was like, what's worse? You know what's worse than getting hurt while you're playing, getting hurt while you're practicing.
Yeah.
So
but here's the thing. We have different like workout goals there. I just want to eventually look like The Rock in Moana.
Well, no nipples.
No nipples.
Lots just covered in tattoos.
Covered in tattoos in a bodysuit. And you wanted to like play a sport well.
Yeah, exactly. That's anytime I work out. That's the problem is if I can't work out just to be healthy, I won't do it. I can't. Yeah. I will not do it consistently. It has to be like, well, this week I really want to surf next week because I have some free time. So every workout I'm going to do this week is related to that. Like that's the only way I can get myself out the door. I had to pay for like a $200 5K in LA to get myself to start running again. And listen, it works. It worked. But, I'm training for that thing. Otherwise, I cannot do it.
Yeah, my training ethos is that I just want to do what Arnold Schwarzenegger did, which is become the best bodybuilder on earth, and then parlay that into, 7 really good movies?
Yeah, depends on what you mean by really good.
Yeah.
I think there's, 3, actually good ones, and then, 5 to 10... These are fun, and I like watching them, but they're not
T1, good. T2, Predator, Total
True
Recall,
Lies.
True Lies. That's 5. We just need 2 more. T1, T2, Predator, True Lies. That's 4. We need 3 more.
See, I don't like Commando.
Yeah.
I don't like...
Last Action
What's
Hero?
the one where he fights the devil? You know what I'm talking
that's
about?
Devil's
It's
Advocate. You're mistaking him for Al Pacino.
No. Oh, yeah.
Hey, can we shoot... Like, can we use AI to shoot a recreation of The Godfather but replace Pacino with Schwarzenegger?
See, you know, I was literally... I went silent there because I was trying to think of a Pacino quote from Godfather, and I could only think of Brando quotes. So that's really the problem.
You and I had a blood feud deadlift style argument about if Glenn Ross, if Alec Baldwin's good in that. So we should be able to pull a
history has proven me right. You are the
okay.
the
History also
dissenting
thought that it
opinion.
was okay to smoke cigarettes. So I'm gonna side on the forward looking people that realize that Alec Baldwin is the worst part of that movie.
Good father. Fuck you. Go home to your kids.
Alec Baldwin, for being a real life dick, he is not a very good on screen dick. Anytime he
He's
has to be
so
a
good.
dick-
What are you talking about?
Anytime he has
This
to be a
one
dick
I'll
on
actually
screen-
fight you for.
Anytime he has to be a dick on screen, I'm like, I don't know, not believable.
I'm not mad. Don't put it in the newspaper that I'm mad. You'll come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding.
Still Brando. All right, so we're back after I had to cut out
All
our
of that.
side conversation there. Yeah, outside of you doing maybe your Schwarzenegger and The Godfather, I'll leave in. But Tyler, you're what some people would call the most notable Bears fan on the internet.
There aren't a lot of them.
It's you. And
Have you
Robert
noticed
Mays.
this? It's just
that
me
it?
and Robert Mays. I mean, he's pretty notable. I mean, it's
You know
just,
what?
you know.
you got the market corner too, because there's also not a lot of notable Magic fans.
No, well, actually, that's actually not true. There's Kevin Clark.
It's you and Kevin Clark.
Yeah.
And Kevin Clark
Yeah, that's
stole
true.
F1 from you.
Kevin
so I
Clark
think you
and
steal
Kevin
the
Clark's
Magic
a
from him.
football guy, so I could,
He's a
you know,
football guy.
I could get in there. That's true.
He's a
Yeah.
football and F1 guy, so I guess you got to give up F1 and
Yeah, I gotta throw it away.
Yeah.
I'll throw it away.
As much as you've been
you know
enjoying
what
the
we
season.
need? We need to do a Premier League podcast because every Premier League podcast I listen to is like I've tried to try and get into Premier League is always like the two most dry British guys being like, yeah, I think when he counter presses, it's really smart for them, and we'll see whether that's a good contract or not. Put some jokes in there.
Should we do like a 1 season challenge where we do a weekly Premier League podcast for exactly 1 Premier League season?
Should we try? I think it would get me into the Premier League.
Let's
but-
fucking go for it. Let's fucking rubber stamp it right now.
Who's got that time? I'm trying to. I got stuff to do. I can barely.
It's fine. Well, it'll be 45
F1
minutes
really
once
gets
a week.
F1 these days. A lot. If if I'm, I can't take up. If football starts at 10 a.m. here,
Uh-huh.
Premier
Football.
League Sundays start at 7 a.m. I can't do that here. I can't.
I think we give it a 1 season shot. We greenlight it for 1 season. That's it. It's
you
like,
just really
it's like,
want me to get into the Premier League. 'cause
I don't
you're-
give a
you're-
shit about soccer. I have to get into it too. I stopped watching the World Cup once the entire world started pissing in their pants.
I
about
thought you
the
were a
US.
Premier League guy.
I tried.
Who am I thinking
It's
of?
impossible.
It's so hard.
But that's what I'm
Games
saying.
are so early.
That's what I'm saying.
There's so many games. You're like, well, this isn't a Premier League game. This is an FA Cup match.
That's exactly. We do 1 year only Premier League, no FA Cup, no Champions League, no friendlies,
Only Premier League regular
only
season.
Premier League. We do 1 year weekly podcasts, and at that we retire. It's White Lotus. The cast does not come back.
Yeah, until the ratings are through the roof, and we're like,
Nope.
well, I guess we're running it back.
We have integrity, the kind of integrity Mike White doesn't have. Fucking phony.
They're doing another season of that show.
I've never watched a second of it.
It's a good show, and here's the thing: is it's extremely malleable a premise, where he's like, well, you can't do another season of that show. It ends, and you're like, well, you just do an anthology every season. You just go to a different resort and a different locale, and you tackle a different tourist dynamic every season, and it just works. It works every time.
All right. So speaking of the same thing that happens over and over again, the NFL season is upon us.
It does happen over and over.
It does
again,
happen.
right?
It happens over and over and over again, and eventually it'll be the only entertainment unless we stop it by supporting the Premier
By
League for
supporting
exactly
the
1
Premier
season.
League. Yeah, sure. I think the Premier League gets more viewers than the NFL does.
No one game does. This is another thing that I want to bitch about for a second, where people are like, the World Cup.
We gotta talk about
football. The World Cup got 3 billion viewers. The Super Bowl only got 60 million. And I'm like, the World Cup over the course of the World Cup got 3 billion views. It was fucking 9,000 games.
I mean,
the Super Bowl
the
gets
World
60
Cup
million.
final got like 10 times the number of views as the Super Bowl does.
Well, you know who wasn't watching it?
Me.
This fucking guy.
Yeah, I was at work. I heard it down the
checked
street
out.
at the bars, like all the Spanish fans. Yeah,
I
There are a lot
just
of
checked out when
Spaniards in LA
everyone
right
was
now.
a dick about the Balogun thing.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? I don't need to have an opinion on this. I'm out. After they got blown out by Belgium, I'm like, I'm done. I'm good.
But you, as a notable Bears fan, and the NFL season's approaching, I want to talk to you about the most confusing division in football.
It really is. I was doing research yesterday just to cover my bases. And it's a weird division.
Yeah. I don't know who's going to win this division, and that gets us into what
Me
we're
neither.
doing today. We are going to go through. I have put aside for us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 categories that we are going to pick someone for. Those categories are the best unit, the worst unit, the division winner, last place, the best offseason edition, worst offseason edition, and the head coach hot seat. I guess the hottest seat would be more accurate. But anyways, we're going to go through. We're going to talk about each of these teams over the course of those categories. Kind of come to a general consensus on each of those in terms of how we're feeling about who best embodies it. And hopefully over the course of that, we'll figure out who the fuck is going to win this division. Last year, it was the Bears, right? The Bears won, Packers in second.
Yes.
Yeah, Bears won, Packers in second. The other two teams did not make the playoffs. There's no way to predict what's going on with this division. So I do want to start with this. We'll consider offense and defense for each team here, but I want to know what the best unit in this division. Just straight up, which team has either the best offense or the best defense going into the year.
So I went into this being like, okay, let's dig into some of the moves. What do these teams lose? What did they win? There's an argument that not a single one of these teams is better. Like, there's an argument every team got worse this offseason.
Yeah, I had down that like the Packers had like one of my least favorite off seasons, and they still might win the division.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, it feels weird. I promise I'm not being a homer here. Maybe I am a little bit, but like, the best unit is the Bears offense, right? Am I crazy for saying that?
So they lose DJ Moore. They have
the center.
Yeah,
Dahlman. But they replaced him. Hopefully.
Yeah, with who? Did they draft a center?
They traded for Garrett Bradbury from the Patriots, and then they drafted Logan Jones in the second round.
Yeah. So they have their interior offensive line really improved last year, which is a big step. They have Kyle Monangai, who we did our last podcast was a 2025 redraft, and Monangai ended up going in the first round in that. They have Luther Burden. They have Rome Odunze, Cole Kmet,
Colston Loveland.
They
signed Khalif Raymond to be their return guy, gadget guy from the Lions. They have Judea Barron is like a deeper cut wide receiver that I think could be pretty good this year. Hey, Dynasty guys, you should stash him. He caught the game tying touchdown in the Packers regular season game in the corner of the end zone.
I see that you are in for another year of Dynasty football with us, by the way.
That's right. You know it.
Aren't you excited? You love fantasy football.
I love fantasy football. I don't know how to say no. That's my real problem. Is last year at the end of the season, I was like, I got to get rid of some of these fantasy leagues. I can't do this shit. And then like everyone at work's like, oh my God, fantasy football, let's do it. And then you're like, oh, I don't want to be out of Adam's league. And then my college friends are like, we got to be in our league. And then all of a sudden I'm in fucking 4 leagues again.
Yeah, I pared down my leagues. I'm going to do, at some point I need to set up and do a, God damn it, what's it called? Where you just, best ball. I want to set up a best ball.
I would love a best ball league. Oh my God.
I'm thinking we just do like a small buy-in and the winner gets like the money plus a trophy or something.
It's the thing about best ball is
the
that the
fun part.
best part, you only have to do the fun part, and then you just check it at the end of the year. You just have to, and then you just sub out guys who get hurt.
So
back to
the point at hand.
Back to the point at hand. I think the Bears offense is still the best unit. Here's
my question with this though. Are we factoring in the Ben Johnson effect, which wouldn't be an effect on the actual unit itself, but the unit's performance, right?
I don't take too much stock in training camp news where it's like he completed all these passes, he looks really good. But that being said, the Bears offense in the first week has apparently been kicking the defense's ass, which is maybe the first time in the history of the Bears that's happened in the first week of training camp.
Yeah.
I'm not normally, like, I remember like going back to Mitch Trubisky's third year after they made the playoffs in the double doink, and people were like, the Bears, are they going to be good again this year? And in training camp, people were like, oh, Trubisky looks really bad. They're not going to be good this year. This is the opposite of that, where Caleb apparently looks really good. There's going to be fewer. It's like this funny thing of like, the Bears may regress luck-wise, but be a better team. You know, like that. A lot of their early seasons, they lost a bunch of dumb games in the early season because of like penalties and pre-snap shit, holdings, like random things that I think are going to be cleaned up at the start of this year. So I guess we'll see. But yeah, I just don't think any other unit in the NFC North has the ceiling the Bears offense does.
So my main concerns with the Bears offense are that they don't have a proven wide receiver one. And the jury
You're not
is
all in
still
on Luther Burden? Come on.
No. Too small. The jury's still out on what Caleb Williams' ceiling is. And maybe he'll come out in the first few weeks and prove us all that, yes, he is, in fact, the best quarterback from that class, and he's a future MVP ballot guy. But right now, the jury's still a little out on him in terms of his ceiling, his consistency. I will say, when you talk offensive units, it's basically just this or the Packers who lost Dontavian Wicks, as well as some of their offensive line talent. Defense, though, I think defense is an interesting argument for who the best unit is.
They lost Dobbs. That's the bigger one for the Packers than Wicks. They lost
I don't know why I said Wicks. I meant Dobbs because
they also lost two starting offensive linemen, Rasheed Walker and Elton Jenkins.
Yeah.
But
I will say I think that the defense in this division is probably where this is going to come from, and I think maybe it's just another year where the Vikings have the best unit. I mean, they lost Jonathan Grenard, but still, you look at their defensive line, it's Jalen Redmond. Go ahead.
Yeah. They lost Hargrave and Allen.
They lost,
none of those guys were great.
Yeah.
Well, and Grenard. They lost Grenard, Hargrave, and Allen, which, Harrison Smith is gone for the Vikings defense.
Yeah. He was also old, though. So.
Yeah, but still, he's not there anymore, Yeah. This is a tough one because every unit in the NFC North is like, not bad. I don't think there are any units where you're like, well, that's going to be a disaster.
Right.
But it's, none of them are, they're all ranging from like C- to B-, So it's kind of hard to pick a good one. That's why I say the Bears, just because like if it works, like if you're like, if everything clicks, that's the best unit, right?
Right.
I mean, I guess maybe the Lions, if their offensive line is better than we think it's going to be, their offense would be maybe the best. But and
the other thing with this too, and then we'll actually like get on to stop playing around with it and actually make a pick here. But the other thing is like, what about the Vikings? Like, what if Kyler is just good?
That's true. If Kyler is good, that's another one where that offense could be really good.
Yeah.
I don't. This is a weird division, man. I have no idea what's going to happen this year.
Okay, let's make an official pick here. Like, give me. We'll do this by like ranked choice. Give me like your top 3 units.
I don't like any of the defenses.
Okay.
Maybe the Packers when Micah Parsons comes back, but like
God, they lost so much talent, man. They lost Rashawn Gary and
Quay
Walker and Kingsley Inigbare and Nate Hobbs, and Micah Parsons isn't going to be back until week 6. So you're getting
the Vikings defense. I mean, they do have Brian Flores, so I guess
I want to try to not account for coaches in this either necessarily.
You're thinking straight
just
talent,
raw talent,
then.
yeah, on that unit.
Gosh, in that case, I would say raw talent best unit is either Bears offense, Lions offense, or Vikings defense. Vikings offense. It's one of the Vikings units are kind of sort of in there.
Get fucked, Packers.
The Packers had an awful offseason. I'm really not trying to be a homer about this, but like, take a look at what they gained and what they lost. Like, that team is not the same team as last year, and they were a 9-win team last year.
Not adjusted for position, just purely in terms of how good they are. Who is the best player in the NFC North?
I would say hypothetically Micah Parsons.
Yeah, like healthy Parsons,
Justin Jefferson,
or
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Penei
Sewell. Yeah, no, Penei Sewell. Amon-Ra St. Brown's a notch below those guys.
Yeah. Like those are like my 3 candidates just off the top of my head.
Yeah.
And like if you say Penei Sewell, then the Lions also brought in Cade Myers. They have Christian Mahogany, Tate Rutledge, and their first round draft pick Blake Miller along their offensive line. If that can be good, then I think that they're in the conversation.
Penei Sewell is swinging to left tackle. He's changing positions. Which
yeah, that's true.
I think I don't know. It's one of those where it's like that guy is so good that I just kind of like I just assume that that'll work.
Yeah.
But like maybe it'll take a few games for him to get to his sort of peak level.
I get that like Blake Miller played right tackle, so you want to bring in the rookie. I hate moving a guy who is elite at one position to another position.
Yeah, why not put the rookie at left?
Yeah, tell Blake Miller, hey, you're going to learn how to play left tackle because our right tackle is the best right tackle in the game.
Yeah. The second best right tackle in football might also be in the NFC North, Darnell Wright.
I do like me some Darnell Wright. I'm going to come with you. I'm going to go with the Bears offense. I was initially thinking the Vikings defense, but I don't love how much talent they lost on the defensive line, even if it's players that weren't A+. So I think
they've acquired a lot of young talent. I remember people being really down on their draft pick, the defensive tackle. They drafted the Florida guy, Caleb Banks. Yeah. I remember people not liking that pick very much.
He's just hurt.
Okay.
And he's really good if he's healthy, but he's just hurt. So I'll go ahead. I'll join you. We'll go for the best unit in the division. We'll go Bears offense. Now let's go to the other one. Let's go to the worst unit. And I gotta tell you,
is it the Bears defense?
Kind of want to stay in Chicago for this one, if I'm being honest with you. Last year, they were by EPA. They were the worst defense in this division, and they also had the best turnover differential in football, which is usually not sustainable. Although one time it was the Broncos who had that, and my father, a notable Broncos fan, did not like when I said that wasn't going to sustain. He was not happy with me on that.
Now, I mean, it's one of those things of like, I think the Bears are still going to force a lot of turnovers this year. The big, like the X factor there is that their defensive backs coach is Al Harris, who his whole thing is forced turnovers, like to the point that you're like, maybe try like covering instead of just jumping every pass or whatever. But because he was in Dallas for those 2 years when Trayvon Diggs had like 20 interceptions. So like he that's all he does is get defensive backs to pick the ball off. And he didn't get sniped this year as for like a defensive coordinator position. So he's still there.
What a time to have a football podcast that was. Just every week, Mike and I being on here swearing that the Trayvon Diggs thing is smoke and mirrors, and then just for weeks getting bodied in the comments over it.
Here's the thing: is he was a high draft pick, right? He was a high.
I don't know. It's a little before my draft coverage time. I don't know when Diggs went.
Hang on, let me look that up because I remember people being like, "This is the best defensive back in the NFL. He's so good."
So while you look that up, I will say about this Bears secondary.
Second round pick.
Second round. Okay.
Well, it's like last year. No, go ahead.
About this Bears secondary, they rebuilt a lot of it, and that like still got Tyree Stevens, who is very good, and Jalen Johnson, who's very good.
Tyreek Stevens is not very good. Jalen Johnson is healthy, though. That is the big difference. He was hurt. Basically, he said in a press conference earlier this offseason that the first game he played without pain was the Rams playoff game. So, that's nice for us to have this year, I guess.
That's very good. And as someone who currently has a back injury, I feel for Jalen Johnson. I think him and I are of a kin. We have a lot in common. So it's good to know that. I just want Jalen Johnson to know he has a brother out there in me, as someone who can understand the pain of being a NFL football player.
Yes.
Especially in the back of the secondary safety core, brought in Kobe Bryant, the now injured Kobe Bryant, according to Dr. Odunze, not too badly injured. Brought in or drafted Dylan Thieneman, brought in Cam Lewis, Skylar Thompson, and Anthony Johnson Jr. all as adds to this staff. Mm-hmm. So for whatever you thought about their secondary last year, they at least tried to do something about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, honestly, our safety play was one of the strong suits last year. I feel like the fact that we had so many interceptions last year, it's one of those things that belies, like, the secondary was not the problem for the Bears last year. The problem for the Bears is that they couldn't rush the passer and they couldn't stop the run. They're one of the worst run defenses in the NFL, and they didn't get any better at that this year. They got smaller. They got smaller on the front seven. They got rid of Tremaine Edmonds and added Devin Bush.
Yeah.
Devin Bush, who's a cover linebacker. They're like, it's.
Yeah, you guys settled your issues with rushing the passer by still having Montez Sweat and Grady Jarrett. And
I know
Booker
a lot.
And
yeah, exactly.
And
Bears fans are like, well, this is going to be a big year, another year of development for Javon Dexter and Austin Booker. And I'm like, those guys are fine if they're the number 2, if they're rotating in. Like, they cannot be your plan A. Like, it's like, it really does make me wonder, like, I don't want the Bears to trade for Max Crosby because one guy I don't think will make the difference on this defensive line. That's how little this defensive line has depth-wise. But yeah, it's just one of those things of, like, I think the secondary was actually quite good last year. That's why, like best case scenario for these new safeties they bring in is they are as good as the safeties last year. Like, I remember reading, like, a draft guide, and Dylan Thieneman's his player comp was Jaquan Brisker.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, I guess he's cheaper Jaquan Brisker.
Is he cheaper?
How
much do second-round draft picks make?
That's a great... Well, they would have had to sign Brisker, is what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Brisker got a big contract, I think, from Tennessee? Is that where he is now?
Like that. Everyone got a big contract from Tennessee.
That's right, yeah. But yeah, it's one of those, like, I kind of have faith in the back end of the defense, especially with Jalen Johnson coming back and being healthy, hopefully. But yeah, that front seven is tough. It's not good, and I don't know. I liked all the moves the Bears had this offseason. Every move they made, I was like, that's logical. I understand what you're doing here. But, like, that didn't account for the defensive line, and we're just going into another year with the defensive line bad. And I'm not the type of person who's like, every year you got to be all in, trade everything for Max Crosby. Like, that didn't work out with the Khalil Mack trade, so I'm a little gun shy.
But remember that first game?
That was a good game. It was pretty good. The game they lost.
But how good was Khalil Mack in that game?
He had like 3 sacks and a strip sack. It was pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah, I mean,
can I throw out some other team units for you here? See what you think.
Yeah, we should talk about the rest of the NFC North.
So the Vikings offense. Now they obviously have Justin Jefferson. They have Jordan Addison, who is a very good number 2. Signed Jawan Jennings, but their running backs are washed. Aaron Jones. I don't care what people say. He's washed. Jordan Mason. Scott Xavier.
The Bears.
They have probably the worst line in the division.
Yeah.
And then your hope is resting on a quarterback room of Kyler Murray, J.J. McCarthy, and Carson Wentz.
I think that is the thing, is if by our logic we're saying the Bears offense is the best unit, then because of its ceiling, then the Vikings offense is probably the worst unit because of its basement, right?
Yeah, because like if everything hits right for the Bears the way it did last year, I can see them winning the division. And if everything hits wrong the way it did for the Vikings last year,
I could see them winning 3 games.
Yeah, they could be really excited to hire Chris Shula to coach Arch Manning.
Yeah, that's certainly possible.
Like I don't think
Kyler
there's
Murray,
any way
get
the
ready to
Bears-
learn Jets, buddy.
I don't think there's any way the Bears are a 3-win team. I think there is a way the Vikings are a 3-win team.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, gosh, I mean, I hated the Packers offseason for them. Like, well, I loved it because it was bad, but it's really tough. It's just like I don't know that any of those units are if you have Micah Parsons on your defense, it's hard to say that's the worst unit.
Yeah, and
then the offense is like
they have Christian Watson. How bad can your team be with Christian Watson playing 7 games?
I think there is a sneaky case to be made that their offense is going to be bad. They lost the offensive lineman. They've got a rookie on their offensive line. They lost Romeo Doubs, who was their number 1 receiver.
But they have Matthew Golden. Remember?
That's true. Remember when he jumped over that guy in the playoffs? It was pretty good.
It was pretty good.
And he got his first touchdown of the year in like his 18th game.
I guess the argument with the Packers offense being bad is where you rank Jordan Love.
Yeah. I don't love him, you know? He doesn't scare me as an the old opposing fan theory of like, oh man, this guy's dropping back. What's going to happen? Like, I'm not like scared when Jordan Love drops back.
You and Mike need to do a spinoff podcast called Love and Hate because you guys both just hate on Jordan Love.
I don't think he's bad. I think he's probably he's like discount Dak Prescott.
That's a take.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's starting caliber NFL quarterback. You know,
every year, he leads the league in EPA created or something like that. Like last year, adjusted EPA per play, he was second in the league behind Drake May.
But is that because of the offense? We're looking at Malik Willis's stats in that offense.
Let me see. Let me make sure that I don't have Malik Willis accidentally filtered out here. Minimum play set to 1. Minimum play set to 1. Let's see where Malik Willis is 3rd.
That's my point. That's my point. Is it Jordan Love or is Jordan Love just like a league average quarterback with one of the best offensive minds in football?
Now, if I adjust it to 50 plays, Malik Willis is not only first, but he's first by such a significant margin that it shifts the entire field to the bottom left.
Just saying, I want you right now. It can't be me because I'm too much of a homer, but it has to be you. Rank the quarterbacks in the NFC North.
Okay.
And Kyler Murray, not J.J. McCarthy, because obviously McCarthy would be at the bottom. I think Kyler's also going to be at the bottom, but just for the sake of this.
Okay, so we're just going starters, right? So I get Kyler, Caleb, Love, and Goff. Okay, yeah, I'm going to go Kyler from bottom to top. Kyler, Goff, Caleb, Love.
You have Love first.
I have Love first.
Yeah, okay.
Then I'm probably too low on Goff if we're being honest, but I like Caleb.
Well, Goff with a bad offensive line. That's my whole thing. Is if this is the other thing about worst unit. If that Lions offensive line is bad, then suddenly Jared Goff is like final year Rams Jared Goff again.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I think there's
tiny hands. Jared Goff is going to rear his ugly head. You know.
I think the four units that we can actually make an argument for here are Lions offense if the line's bad.
Bears
Vikings
defense.
offense.
Vikings
Bears
offense.
defense. And I think quietly Lions defense.
Yeah, we haven't touched on them yet, but the Terry and Arnold thing is tough for them. Their secondary is like Brian Branch and a bunch of dudes.
And Brian Branch is still hurt. Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph are still hurt. Outside of that, they have
how old
Roger
is DJ
McCreary.
Reed now? Like,
Yeah. Let me see if he'll tell me how old he is just by clicking on this.
are we going to find out he's like 26 and I'm thinking of someone else?
He was born in 1996, so he is 30.
Yeah, 30. Yeah, he's the age. He's getting toward that age cliff.
Yeah. Rocky Sin. So Rocky Sin, Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, DJ Reed, and Roger McCreary are their. That's like their nickel package.
I do like Kirby Joseph. I just that's a
once again
I
also
don't know.
hurt.
If you're ranking secondaries, is that only the Vikings secondary is worse, right?
Yeah, because the
Bears
Packers,
and the Packers have better
both
secondaries.
they both have like at least one blue chip guy on the secondary.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that you're right.
On the front seven, the Lions have Aiden Hutchinson and not Dan Campbell. Jack
Dan
Campbell
doesn't. Dan Campbell does not, in fact, play on the front seven for them.
Yeah, he doesn't play, but Jack Campbell, but they lost Anzalone.
Yeah, that's tragic for me as the world's biggest Anzalone. So they have Jack Campbell, Derek Barnes, Malcolm Rodriguez, DJ Wonham. Who the fuck is that?
DJ Reader's gone. They had a lot of DJs on that team.
Tyreek Williams and Aiden Hutchinson. So I do think their front seven is maybe. Man, it's so hard with this. It's so hard.
We didn't. By the way, us not mentioning Aiden Hutchinson as best player in the division is tough for him.
Stay healthy. And I'll talk to you about.
Hey,
about
that's fair. Fine. That's fair. We should have at least mentioned his name. You know what I mean? He didn't even get mentioned.
All right, we got to make a pick here. We got to make a pick. Who are you feeling in your soul, in your gut, deep in the place where you store your loathe for?
In my gut, Max Crosby is already on the Chicago Bears defense, so like that doesn't that defense is obviously not the worst one. If we want to listen, I'm happy to make it the Bears defense because they were really bad last year and they aren't better. They're at least as good as last year. I don't know that they're worse, but they are they're equally as good.
I think I have to kind of go with like my eye test here, and I can't buy in on a 5'6" quarterback, even if everything around him is like supposed to be built towards him. I think I gotta go with the Vikings because we saw how bad the Vikings offense could be. And
their run game is going to be terrible because Kyler can't get under center, so
their line's bad.
They're going to be in shotgun constantly.
Yeah. Like it's just like there is a ceiling to how good you can be when you are that small, and that ceiling is Drew Brees, and Kyler Murray ain't Drew Brees.
He's smaller than Drew Brees.
Probably. I mean, he looks like the tiniest person ever made. So on a football field.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing about Kevin O'Connell is the Shanahan style offense is not a Sean Payton dink and dunk offense. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's two different things. And like I guess Caleb is a small quarterback relatively.
He's like,
but
what,
like
6'1"?
He's like, I know he's more like 6 foot, but he's like 6 foot and a quarter, so people call him 6'1" type of vibe.
But he's also like 6 feet wide.
Yes.
Like he's not a small quarterback.
But even Caleb, do you know who has the most batted down passes in the NFL over the last 2 years? It's Caleb
Is
Williams.
It really Caleb? Man.
Yeah.
That's
I was like I remember looking at that at the end of the year when one got batted and I'm like, God, it happens all the time. And I looked it up and it's like a significant margin.
Yeah.
By like a significant margin.
Caleb is a walking, on fire, blinking red flag, and I'm just constantly willing to be like, let's ignore the red flag. Let's see what happens here.
Maybe he'll run to the left and throw off 1 foot like Michael Jordan and complete it 30 yards downfield. That's on the thing, 4th and 8.
Like insane athlete, but bad time to throw. Bad sack conversion rate, gets all of his passes batted down, makes poor decisions under pressure often, and I'm still
here's the thing about
ladies and
I heard an
gentlemen,
argument about
Caleb
the batted
Williams.
down passes. I heard an argument about the batted down passes, and here's the thing about that is someone like Kyler doesn't throw over the middle. Caleb tests the middle of the field, and he's short. Yeah. So like most short guys just don't throw over the middle of the field, but Caleb's willing to attempt that, which is why he gets his passes batted down. So like that's the reason you know what I mean, if that makes sense.
It does.
Like Drew Brees didn't get that many passes batted down, but that's just because he was Drew Brees. So I don't know. I think, if you're going basement, look, the worst unit in the NFC North last year was the Bears defense, and the Bears defense didn't get any better. So
so like if we're doing like consistency here, I think we would go Bears defense. Or honestly, Lions defense. I really don't like this Lions defense.
Yeah, this Lions defense is tough. Yeah.
If we're going like 1% outcome, what's going to be the worst unit? It's got to be the Vikings offense, just because like the fulcrum point has such a combustibility to it.
Yeah, there's a world where Carson Wentz is starting week 8, you know, and it's just like, and Kevin O'Connell is like looking for jobs, you know. He's going to be the next offensive coordinator somewhere.
They just cut to the sideline and you can see him tying a noose.
Kevin O'Connell, New York Giants?
They're not going to fire Harbaugh after 1 year. How about Kevin?
I think they fired Pete Carroll after 1 year. The Raiders did.
How about Kevin O'Connell, San Francisco 49ers? How does that sit for you?
Like offensive coordinator. Or head coach.
Head coach.
Tasty. This the interesting. You know, the son becomes the father in that case. And O'Connell, wasn't he a Shanahan guy? Or was he a McVay guy?
I can't.
No, he's a McVay guy. He was a McVay guy. Never mind. Which I guess they're all Shanahan guys. They're all Mike Shanahan guys.
Yeah.
You know?
You can draw a direct line from every single good team in the NFL to the 2012 Washington Commanders. Yeah,
sorry about that, dog. We got to do the NFC East next.
Yeah, you want to come back and I can just like doom spiral on Jaden Daniels for 45 minutes and call it a podcast?
Would you rather have Jaden Daniels or Caleb Williams right now?
Jaden Daniels.
On the Commanders, not
yeah, because that's the thing. On the Commanders, we don't have Ben Johnson, so
yeah,
I'll take Jaden Daniels outside of Ben Johnson. But Caleb Williams is such a freak, and man, Jaden Daniels needs to call up Giannis and just be like, "What did you do? I need to do what you did. I need to turn into the fucking Captain America, just muscles everywhere."
Yeah.
Anyways, what are we going with? Is your official vote Bears defense?
Yeah, we don't have a tiebreaker here.
That's fine. I would say Bears defense is second or third for me, so we can go Bears defense as the worst unit.
Well, Vikings offense is like my second choice, so we're kind of.
Do we just cancel out and go Lions defense then or something?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right,
let's do that.
So we have Bears offense is the best unit, Lions defense is the worst unit. Sorry, Aiden Hutchinson.
This is like when the fourth best movie of the year wins Best Picture at the Oscars because this is ranked choice voting.
Yeah, which is what happened last year. Obviously, is it the fourth best movie one? I don't care.
Yeah.
No,
I had it. I had Sinners over it, and
so you had sentimental value over it.
And sentimental value. I love you. Why? How could I forget? I own it on Criterion. I have the Criterion.
And obviously, Life of Chuck would be the third best.
Mid.
It's probably
the first third of Life of Chuck. The first third of Life of Chuck could be the best.
The first third and the dance sequence are elite movie making.
Yeah, but the dance sequence looks like a Verizon commercial.
It does, but
It looks like they shot it at the Burbank Town Center. Like,
it kind of looks like they shot it at a green screen of the Burbank Town Center.
Yeah, it looks really bad.
All right, we got to move on to division winner now, which is somehow harder than the other two things we've already done.
It's harder because that's the thing. There's no clear best unit. There's no clear worst unit. I unfortunately I hated the Packers are the only team that didn't have a unit in conversation for either best or worst.
Right.
But their offseason was so bad that like they came in second in the division last year and they're going to be worse this year hypothetically. This is how I feel. Is they're going to be worse this year. So it's not them.
Let's start with the process of elimination here. What teams would you at the end of the year be like, "Huh, no shit." If you just
the Vikings. If the Vikings won the year, I would be like, "Really? Kyler's good? Yeah. That's crazy."
After this podcast ends,
they have the longest
stood up and got hit in the head with a piece of drywall and fell into a coma until the last day of the NFL season. I would be
what a nightmare.
Pretty surprised. Yeah, and then you got to wait another 12 months or whatever.
Interesting. Do you know who the favorite is?
The favorite's
to win
the
division? It's the Lions.
That's dumb. Well, the Lions have an impossibly easy schedule.
That's the thing, right? So just to let you know where you're at, just to quickly go over the odds here. Lions are plus 180, Packers are plus 235, Bears are plus 300, Vikings are plus 500.
That's
the
way,
win
way
total over unders for each team. Yep. The Lions and Packers are 10.5. Bears are 9.5, and Vikings are 8.5. That's such a good indication of where this division's at.
It is. Packers and Bears have the hardest schedule of the two. Here's the Lions' schedule, by the way. Home for New Orleans, at Buffalo, home for the Jets, at Carolina, at Arizona, bye week. So of that, they have one playoff. Well, I guess Carolina's a playoff team. They have two playoff teams before.
Can I pitch
bye
something?
In week 6. Yeah.
Who gives a shit about the preseason schedule difficulty?
How
often at the end of the season are you like, wow, they gave them the hardest schedule, and it actually was the hardest schedule? Like,
here's the thing:
the Bears last year supposedly were supposed to have a really easy schedule, then all of a sudden it was a really hard schedule. Like,
I don't look at preseason strength of schedule based off of team win totals from the previous year. I look at strength of schedule based off opponent projected wins by Vegas.
Sure. I just feel like the NFL has such fluctuating win rates, where you're like, it's like Jared Goff could get hurt in week 1 and suddenly the Lions win 3 games and they're a pushover. Like, that's the thing about the NFL, right?
Right. They build the whole plane out of small sample size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I find it really hard. You're like, oh, the Lions have the easiest schedule. I don't know. What if one of those teams is really good this year? And there's always a surprise, and it's just like, I don't know. I would be curious to see like what the data set shows of like preseason strength of schedule to win rate. Like if there's actually a correlation to if you have an easier schedule. Like at the end of the season, obviously, if you look back and you're like, okay, they beat a bunch of 5-win teams, that correlates. But like preseason, does that correlate?
I'm going to ask Google Gemini real quick. Okay, so here's my question for Google Gemini.
You couldn't have at least used a good one.
No,
one of the ones
that's the point. I want to use a bad one. Based off preseason strength of schedule, how often does the team projected to have the easiest schedule
have a winning record?
Schedule actually have the easiest schedule. So by traditional prior season win-loss rate, it's typically 3.9 to 5.7% of the time, according to AI.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Yeah. By Vegas win totals or betting lines, it's about 10 to 12% preseason rankings. And by advanced power rating, such as strength of schedule divided by DVOA, it's 12 to 15%. So even our best stats have about a 15% hit rate at best in terms of preseason strength of schedule.
Now, you are betting on odds. Technically, those you would have. I'm sure the easiest strength of schedule preseason is probably the highest odds to get the easiest schedule at the end of the season.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you're just betting percentages. But that's I mean, at the end of the day, that's the Lions thing, right? Is you're just like, do you look at the team, look at the quarterback, look at the quarterback situation, look at the coach.
You said you would only be surprised if the Vikings won. I would be surprised if the Vikings or Lions won.
Really?
The Lions' biggest loss, and it's great that they brought in someone that has NFL caliber talent as a play caller, and it's great that they brought in, or that they have like blue chip players on both sides of the ball. The Lions' biggest loss is now and forever going to be Ben Johnson. Teams melt down after they lose a generational play caller. It happens time and time again. Look at the Falcons' history after Kyle Shanahan left. They went from playing in a Super Bowl to missing the playoffs enough consecutive years to where Dan Quinn got axed. Unfortunately, got hired by my team. Like basically everyone outside like the all-time elites, like the Patriots could run through offensive coordinators who would go fail somewhere else after they left, even if they looked like legitimate play callers. But anytime that a team loses their top flight offensive coordinator, the offense doesn't recover because the coordinator's the one who is pulling the levers when you have a CEO head coach like Dan Campbell.
Well, he was calling some plays last year. I don't know if you.
I know they could not decide on that.
Was that the Trump game where he started calling plays against Washington?
No, it was
that all one game?
It was before that. So
remember that?
I think I do. Trust me. I think I would
weird.
go Packers or Bears here. The question is just, A, how confident are you in the Bears not completely regressing in terms of winning one possession games and turnover differential? And B, how bad is this Packers defense going to be at rushing the passer until Micah Parsons can get on the field? And even then, is it going to be 100% Micah Parsons?
Let's see. Now, you know what I find interesting is Patrick Mahomes has recovered from a torn ACL in time for Week 1, and he tore it like 2 months after Micah Parsons tore his. What's going on, Micah Parsons? You know, you working hard enough? You know,
maybe spend some more reps in the gym would help. So they're healthy for day one players that are like blue chip on the defense are Xavier McKinney, in the list.
Yeah. Are you making the argument the Bears are going to win the division? Because I'm here for it.
Like, if I had to pick preseason right now, because this entire division is going to be decided by like 2 wins, probably.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of just like the Bears are probably going to have a stronger first 6 games because the Packers and Bears have similarly difficult schedules, and the Packers defense is going to be missing at least Micah Parsons, but maybe Micah Parsons and Javon Hargrave, and they lost Romeo Doubs. Here, let's go through it. Let's go through who they lost this season. Rashawn Gary, Elton Jenkins, Romeo Doubs, Quay Walker, Elton Jenkins again. I don't know why I wrote him down twice. Kingsley Inigbare and Nate Hobbs were the big names that I had them losing. And in response, they brought in Brandon Cease in the draft, Sky Moore, Benjamin St. Juste, Zaire Franklin, and Javon Hargrave.
Who's their new backup quarterback? Because that's the other thing is Jordan Love gets hurt a lot, and
it's Tyrod Taylor, of course.
Ah, yes, yeah. Classic, yeah. One lung Tyrod, one lung Taylor.
Is that him? They got
stabbed. It's Tyrod Taylor.
Why? You think I'd be able to remember that? Because I make jokes about that constantly.
That's one of those things that that's like pre-COVID and disappeared into the ether that happened. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah. Justin Herbert got his opportunity to start in week 2 because Tyrod Taylor got stabbed in the lung.
Yeah, I was thinking about that recently. Like, there's a bunch of movies where I'm like, well, I saw that in theaters. I just saw that. I don't need to watch that again. But I saw that in theaters. That was 7 years ago.
Yeah.
You're like, well, I guess.
So you're saying you're going to rewatch Parasite this week?
We were actually talking about the movie Bumblebee. That's what we were discussing, the Transformers film. I remember liking that movie, and I was like, I need to watch that. I just saw that 8 years ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah, COVID is a time tunnel. Anyway,
what was your go-to thing during COVID?
I learned to play
to
guitar.
pass the time?
Yeah, I learned. I learned to play guitar, and I watched a lot of movies. Ooh,
yeah, that's a pretty good way to do it.
Yeah,
I made a documentary.
Yeah, how'd that go?
Not great.
No,
no. Wouldn't recommend watching it. About being locked down in COVID, like every film student did during COVID.
Oh yeah, no, I saw some people doing that, and I was like, I don't need any content. That's what I learned is I don't need any COVID content.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everyone who avoided
reminded
on their network TV show having a season where everyone had to wear masks and disinfect their groceries. Kudos to you.
Yeah, shout out to them.
Pats on the back for everyone who didn't do one single cold open where people were wearing masks.
At the end, everyone cheered for first responders or whatever.
I would like to give everyone who did not do a COVID episode of their TV show, I want to give them the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
So fuck you, Grey's Anatomy. That's the only one I know that did it.
The Simpsons, Family Guy, Brooklyn Nine-Nine did one. What are some other shows that are exactly like Brooklyn Nine-Nine? I don't know. Superstore? Was Superstore still on the air then? Modern Family. All that Michael Schur post office, the Good Place crap. Anyways, we got to pick a team here. Who's winning the division?
Look, hey, if you're picking the Bears, I didn't want to be the one to say it. You know what I mean? Because I'm always in the camp of ceiling when I'm picking for the NFL. Is I'm like if you're picking on everything going wrong, which it does happen a lot of the time, I feel like everything going wrong is one of those things that you're just like, yeah, that's every team, but in the case that everything goes right, who's winning. Because the Vikings and the Lions, even if things go like 90% right, you're like, I'm not sure they're winning the division regardless, right?
Right. I think I have to pivot at the last second and pick the Packers.
Okay.
And here's my reason why. The Packers, outside of last year, have sustained a lot of turmoil and still won the division. And even last year, they won games with Malik Willis at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I don't like their offseason, but I also don't love the Bears' propensity to where if they regress down to even closer to neutral on turnover differential, how that could have significant effects.
Let me ask you this. In 2 weeks, Vita Vea's on the Bears. Does your opinion change? Let me rephrase that. Vita Vea is a little different. Max Crosby. Let's say the best case scenario is Max Crosby.
I don't think Max Crosby's very good anymore. I also don't think Trey Hendrickson is very good anymore. So, those guys, they're just over the hill in a position that is so dependent on Twitch athleticism. Yeah. Even Micah Parsons, we're probably, and I'm not going to say this with my whole chest, but we're probably never getting a DPOY season out of Micah Parsons now, because that is a position that is entirely athletics-based, and he's coming back from a torn ligament. So even if he is the rest of his career 90% Micah Parsons, he'll probably never be DPOY. I mean,
sure.
it's no through no coincidence, is it?
Okay, then Vita Vea. Forget Max Crosby. Then it's Vita Vea.
Vita Vea raises the floor of the Bears defense so significantly because it stops the interior run, and then you're funneling people to the outside where they have a lot of good tackling talent in their secondary. So I think he's a very good fit there. I don't know, it's got to at least push him even with the fucking Packers for second in the odds, right? I can't believe the Lions have the best odds to win that division.
I can't believe it either. I can't believe the Bears have the worst odds.
Vikings have the worst odds.
No, the Bears have the worst odds.
You just read it off. The Vikings were plus 500.
Oh, no, yeah, you're totally right. I'm an idiot. Yeah, you're right. Sorry. I know, I literally just said that.
The air, because of that, I want you to say that deadlifting is good, since that happened. That I'm pretty smart.
Deadlifting is good in certain occasions if you're going for certain muscle gains.
Exactly. Now, if you could do me a favor, I need you to drive over here and hand me my water because it's on the ground and I can't bend over to pick it up. Okay, my final vote.
Hoisted by your own petard.
I'm ranking it Packers 1A, Bears 2. There is no because I can't give the Packers an entire one. I'm gonna say Packers 1B, Bears 2.
There's no 1A. Yeah.
There's no 1A. Lions 3, Vikings 4. What are your rankings?
I'll accept that. Okay. I think the Packers are due. I know they've weathered a lot of turmoil. It feels like they're due for a season where they're going to get 3 bad Tyrod Taylor losses, I just think that team has no juice, and it kind of reminds me of the Khalil Mack Bears, where you're okay, you went all in on Micah Parsons, but you just lost half your defense the next year, so he's, one man is not enough in the NFL. They weren't one piece away, and they traded for the one piece, and that's always a bad move.
They might have been one piece away when they made that trade.
So?
They just got shelled with injuries, and now they've lost enough of their talent to where they aren't one piece away. When they traded for Micah Parsons, I think that was this team can now win a Super Bowl piece. But now they've lost talent. Parsons is hurt, and I guess those are just the two things. You might want to make a list out of 3 things. But they've lost talent, and Parsons is hurt going into the season. So I don't think they are now in the Super Bowl conversation. I mean,
I think they're the safest pick to win the division. Mm-hmm. But scared money don't make money. You know what I mean? And that's how I feel about the Packers. Is you're betting on the Packers to win the division and lose in the first round of the playoffs. You're they're not an inspiring team.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's 2006, and I've just said the housing market always goes up, basically.
Yes, exactly.
All right, let's go to the Let's go to last place in the division, which obviously, based off our previous
Vikings.
conversation,
Vikings.
Vikings.
This is the easiest choice of all of these things you're talking
It really is. Poor Vikings, man. They brought in Kyler, and they're like, now we have one of the top 3 wide receivers in the league. We have Kyler Murray playing quarterback. We have Aaron Jones at running back. Oh, maybe I'm making the case against myself.
Oh, I said too much. I said too many things. It's the old, like, the faster you get to gold medals in Hall of Fame conversations. It's like the faster you get to Aaron Jones, the worse out the outcome's probably going to be for them.
All right, you want to go on to best offseason edition then?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so the way I think about this can be any free agent signing that wasn't previously on the team or any draft pick.
Sure.
So if you feel that Brandon Cisse is just going to be like the new fucking, I don't know, why can't I remember any defensive backs' names right now? Quick, name a defensive back. Any defensive back. I can't think of a defensive back.
Jalen Johnson.
No, different player.
Okay, would you like me to pick a different defensive back from another team? Name a woman.
Jalen Johnson.
Oh my God. Tariq Woolen. We got there.
I like how you and I have been constant proponents of the just naming guys thing, and then we couldn't name guys. What happened to us?
See, now the dam is broken, and I can name a bunch of them. Christian Gonzalez.
I am so stuck because I can't remember the fucking Broncos Defensive Player of the Year.
Patrick Surtain.
I could not remember Surtain's name, and it broke.
Who's the other guy? Who's the white guy? Riley Moss.
Riley Moss,
yeah. On the other side, yeah. Now the dam is unleashed. Now the dam is
I think
flooding.
if I was doing anything, if I had just headphones in and someone walked up to me and said, "Quick, who's the white guy?" my first thought would be Riley Moss. So
I think most people would say Cooper DeJean.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
I saw after we might briefly need to talk about LeBron at the end of this, but my favorite meme I saw after LeBron ended up in Philly is someone was like, Cooper DeJean is about to dap up LeBron so hard at these Sixers games. That's going to be fun. That's a good timeline.
All right, best offseason edition.
Uh-huh.
I got candidates for each of the teams outside the Lions because the Lions didn't really do like a ton.
They drafted an offensive lineman in the first round, which is probably a good call, but I don't know how good he is.
I'm going to pick an offensive lineman as my favorite offseason addition. I get that I'm a white podcaster, but I'm not like that guy.
I'm offensive line pilled. After last year with the Bears and God, name an offensive lineman. Joe Thuney.
Oh yeah,
God, too soon. Joe Thuney, winning Protector of the Year and like single-handedly like changing that entire front line. I'm just offensive line pilled. It's like I'm just looking at the lines. If I'm betting on stuff, I'm like, well, let me just go find the analytic rankings of who has the best offensive line, and that's probably associated with who's going to win.
I just appreciate that you did the classic adage of if you ask someone who won the lottery what the best way to make money is, they would tell you playing the lottery. You were like, my team.
I mean, to be fair, the Seahawks didn't have the best offensive line last year. They had like a above average offensive line, and they won the Super Bowl. But you can't have a bad offensive line. That's the key.
The offensive line opens the door for you, but you still have to get inside.
You can. It's like a prerequisite. It has to be at least good. It doesn't have to be the best, but it has to be at least good for you to win. But it doesn't. Yeah.
Or you can have a bad offensive line and just play a backup quarterback in the snow. That's another way to get to the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, that is another way to get to the Super Bowl. I'm so down on the Patriots. Patriots keep ending up in like top 5s of power rankings, and I'm like, you sure about that?
Listen, if you want to come back and talk about the AFC East, we can do that, but I am not getting sidetracked talking about the Patriots right now.
All right.
Best offseason edition in the NFC North, the division we are here to talk about today for the last hour and 22 minutes of recording and hour and 35 minutes of Discord call.
It's hard to pick. I really like both of the Bears' safety pickups, Thieneman and Kobe Bryant, but it's hard to pick a safety, just in terms of positional.
Yeah, positional value.
Positional value. Maybe if the Bears had traded up for Caleb Downs, but that didn't happen.
You don't watch any college. And you're like, I might have been in to trade it for Caleb Downs. But instead, Deal it Lindemann,
That's
I can't
the best
pick
part
him.
of being a sports fan.
Yeah, it is.
I watch some college. When I watch college, it's like because it's on. I'm not like scouting, And it's also like my dad went to UCF, and we grew up with UCF season tickets, so I'll always like just throw them on because I ostensibly care about that team, even though they're not good anymore. So like that's what I'll watch.
I was about to say that it's crazy that we used to live in a country where regular people could afford season tickets, but I guess your dad doesn't qualify as a regular people since he's a real estate mogul.
This was now to be fair, this was in 2008.
Getting old.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
All right. So are you
shout
gonna
out
pick
Blake
Miller?
Bortles? I used to watch Blake Bortles play at UCF.
Are you going to pick Blake Miller then? Is that what you're trying to tell me? As your best offseason addition?
This is my whole point about this division. None of these teams got better. What are you going to pick? Javon Hargrave? Are you going to? That's your options. Your option is Blake Miller, Javon Hargrave,
Brandon Cease,
or like
Murray?
Kobe Bryant,
Kyler Murray,
Kyler Murray. Can we just pick the Vikings for every best unit, worst unit? Division winner, division loser. Kyler Murray. Listen, ceiling? If we're going ceiling wise, it's Kyler.
Yeah, if we're going positional impact, it's Kyler. Kyler was cheap as fuck also.
If the Vikings are good this year, it's because Kyler Murray is
exactly.
Good.
Like, I think there's an argument here that it's Kyler Murray. If you don't want to go Kyler Murray, if you just want to go who is the best player that someone in this division picked up, then I think maybe you go with, like, I don't want to say Hargrave, but maybe Hargrave? Maybe Kobe Bryant?
None of those are inspiring.
No.
Like, am I the one I'm most confident in, like, being good is Kobe Bryant, but there's no ceiling there. You're like, well, you added a pretty good safety, and he's playing pretty good. Like, that's, I'm most confident that that's going to be pretty good. But, like, that's not going to, like, change the outcome of their season.
Right.
Right. More than, like, maintaining, like, a decent secondary. But, like, I guess it has to be Kyler. That's the best quarterback they could have gotten this offseason, right? There's no better quarterback they could have acquired.
By the numbers and the direct impact, I think that it has to be Kyler.
Because they couldn't have gotten Fernando Mendoza. I guess that's the best new quarterback situation of anybody. Like, that would have been best case scenario for them this offseason, but they weren't going to get the Raiders off that pick. So Kyler's the best quarterback. Are you out? Are you out on
Mendoza? I've been out on Mendoza the whole time.
We don't have a good nickname for him.
We don't need one. He'll be out of the NFL in 10 years.
In 10 years? That's a long time.
I'm saying, like, he'll have done the whole, like, he's a starter, now he's a backup, now he's a third string or scout team or whatever, and out of the NFL.
Here's the thing about him: he can't run. And the thing about Trubisky is someone who I think about a lot in terms of, like, first round pick talent, where you're like, he's not Trubisky. That's a bad comp because Trubisky was on a mediocre team and was all athlete type guy. It's like, is he Josh Rosen? That's worst case scenario.
No, because Josh Rosen was Jewish, and I think Fernando Mendoza is Protestant of some kind.
He's Catholic. He's from Miami.
That's, to me, that comparative statement makes no sense to my brain. Is everyone in Miami Catholic? Is that a thing?
Yeah, like University of Miami, I'm pretty sure is a Catholic university, and he won it. And
They're called
he was
the
a backup
Hurricanes.
there, wasn't he?
There's no Hurricanes in Vatican City.
Oh shit, you're so right.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is the best Mendoza comp? Is it like Derek Carr?
Kirk Cousins.
Oh,
he's Kirk Cousins, man.
Kirk Cousins has been in the league longer than 10 years. I just want to point that out.
Kirk Cousins is the Tom Brady of getting that bag. Like,
yeah,
Kirk Cousins is elite at having the right games at the right time and saying the right things in free agency meetings, and he has just consistently gotten the bag when he shouldn't have. And guess what? You don't want to take Kirk Cousins with the number 1 overall pick.
Mendoza does have Clint Kubiak. That is the thing. Like, versus like Cam Ward with whatever that guy's name was who was running the Titans last year. I forgot the coach's name already.
Yeah.
Callahan, is that his name?
Yeah.
Or is that the Panthers guy?
Ooh, no, Canales.
No, Dave Canales is the Panthers guy. Yeah. No, yeah, I think it was because Brian, his dad was the offensive line coach. Frank, is the Callahans. Yeah. So it's just like that's at this point, that's all I'm looking for with like, is this young quarterback going to be good? Is like, who's the play caller? How good is the offensive line? And I mean, they have Clint Kubiak, who is ostensibly a pretty good play caller. I don't know how good their offensive line is.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Why are we talking about the Raiders?
Yeah, how did we talk about Fernando Mendoza for the last 6-7 minutes? How did that happen?
We were talking about who the best pickup at one point the Vikings could have had was, and we were arguing whether they could have moved the Raiders off the first pick for Mendoza, and whether that would have been a good move or not, versus just taking Kyler.
This is just the craziest way we've gotten there. We've talked about Fernando Mendoza for a while before I was like, wait, why are we talking about Fernando Mendoza?
That just means I need to come back and we need to do all the other teams in the league.
Hey, listen, you're invited back anytime you want to be on the show.
Unfortunately, if we do best unit, worst unit for the NFL as a whole, it'll just be the Rams. We'll just talk about the Rams a lot.
It'd be funny if we pitched a podcast as doing ranking all 32 teams and then talked about the Rams for 90 minutes and then just had like a list scroll on the side of all the rankings.
That's so funny. You know, it's really funny. The Rams practice at Loyola Marymount University, which is like on this bluff in Marina Del Rey. It's where my sister goes to college. So like the Rams are practicing like 2 blocks from my sister's house. That's like a tiny liberal arts college. It's so funny that that's where their practice is.
They got to get away from that substation in San Francisco, so make sure that no one tears anything.
Exactly.
Gotta get as far
it's
away
right next to the airport, so they're breathing all those airport fumes. That's
that just makes you stronger.
You know? Just makes you stronger.
Okay, so I'm officially putting in Kyler Murray, $1.3 million starting quarterback. If he is top 15, that is the deal of all deals.
Yeah, you're right. It is Kyler. Because it's Kyler by default, just because you're like, there are like 2 or 3, like, yeah, that's a solid veteran that'll play, 16 games for you and be like at least, league average. Like that's most of the other pickups in this division, this stupid division. Remember last year when we were like, NFC North, the 4 best teams in football, or whatever it was going on last year?
Yeah, now they're definitively the 4 most confusing teams in football.
The 4 most mediocre teams in football.
Yeah. They're not even mediocre. That's the problem. Like, if they were truly
they could be good, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if you told me the Bears won the Super Bowl this year, I wouldn't be like, really? I'd be like, interesting. Like,
right. You're like, unexpected but believable.
Unexpected but believable. The only team, if you told me any of these teams won the Super Bowl, I mean, I'd be surprised at all of them, but I wouldn't be like, fuck off with any of them,
All right. Let's go to the worst edition. For this,
Kyler Murray.
That'd be so funny if we did Kyler Murray. My initial thought on this was that the Zaire Franklin thing got so much press because he was bad last year, and then they traded Colby. What's his last name? Colby Wooden for him, and then renegotiated his deal, so he's making $10.4 million a year at inside linebacker, which puts him in the range of Derek Barnes and TJ Edward for the 11th or 12th spot. But Zaire Franklin's bad. Like, he's not good. And he's like the 12th highest paid linebacker in the league now.
Yeah. See, that's if you're talking purely additions, that's probably the worst one. There's one that definitely isn't the worst that I want to mention that's going to not work out, but it's like a veteran minimum contract, so who cares kind of thing.
Yeah.
Is the Lions replacing David Montgomery with Isaiah Pacheco?
Yep, I had that one written down too.
I think it doesn't move the needle for me. Like, it's like a really cheap deal that ends this year. Like, it's not a bad deal. It's not like season ruining at all. But like that's a downgrade for them.
Right, like it's a downgrade for them, and in such a spectacular way because just every year David Montgomery produced better than we all expected. His underlying numbers were still good, and Isaiah Pacheco has been bad every year he's been in the NFL, and his underlying numbers have been bad. And they were like, and so like even if you don't look at the cost, it's just like in terms of the production you're hoping to replace. I get that Gibbs is either 1 or 1B in terms of running backs in the NFL right now. But it's 2026, and if you're going to have a running back rotation, Isaiah Pacheco ain't doing shit that David Montgomery was doing for you.
Who made the worst first-round draft pick? Packers didn't have one.
Yeah.
And it was Dylan Thieneman, Caleb Banks, and Blake Miller, the tackle.
Okay,
Probably
so you
Banks,
just mean
right?
You mean specifically in this division who made the worst first-round pick?
Yeah, I'm saying like worst addition. Like
Yeah.
did any of them bungle their pick?
That would be Banks because they brought in a heavy defensive lineman who was out with an injury all of last year, with a foot injury, that is, too.
Yeah, that's right. That's what it was, a foot injury. I'm like getting refreshed. I remember learning all of this information in April, and I haven't thought about it since then. So you're like, yes, foot injury. That's what was his problem.
Now, at the same time, Peter Woods was still available on the board, who is a guy that I liked as much. But the problem is Peter Woods is a lot smaller, so he wasn't like what they were looking for. So there wasn't like if they were dead set on getting a tackle, I get why they went with Banks. It's not like an indefensible pick. It just definitely was a reach, and amongst the first round picks from these teams, I think it's my least favorite. I mean, I love the Thieneman pick because that's what the Bears needed. The Bears needed like a really strong safety, and they got it. And then who did the Blake Miller? Blake Miller.
Yeah.
I don't love.
I have
Blake
no
Miller.
I have no thoughts. I have no thoughts on him as a tackle.
I don't like that he went before other guys that I think have more potential upside, like Monroe Freelane.
Sure.
So like I don't think the pick was great, but it's also like the pick was made by people who watched a lot more offensive tackle tape than I ever will. So it's one that I have a hard time fighting back against.
Ooh, Clemson. That's tough.
And if you're sitting here saying who made the worst pick of the first round, the answer is now and forever will be the Rams.
Yeah. Well, what you have proved, what if Ty Simpson's good? Will it still be a bad first round pick?
I mean, yeah, because like you could have gotten him in the fucking third round.
It's sort of like the Luka trade where you're like, well, the process was bad, even if you got Cooper Flagg out.
It's great you got Cooper Flagg, but that's like falling ass backwards into a bucket full of money. Like you weren't looking for the money; he just landed there.
It's
like,
a little different because they did draft Ty Simpson. It's like
if Ty Simpson turns out to be good, you guys get to do a victory lap off of how smart you are, and the rest of the NFL is dumb. I still get to do a victory lap about how dumb your process is when you could have gotten a guy like, I don't know, Reuben Bain Jr.
Makai Lemon.
No.
Not a fan? No.
Too small.
Well, they don't know when will Reuben Bain Jr. play because he'll just have to sit behind Aaron Donald and Myles Garrett and all those guys.
Yeah, well, maybe they could have traded Reuben Bain for Myles Garrett instead, Jared Verse.
They should have traded. Who's the other guy? They had the two teammates that were on Brian Murphy. It was Jared Verse and
it's the guy that's not Brian Murphy, but his name is similar.
Yeah, it's another
Byron
guy.
something.
Not Byron Murphy. He's on the Seahawks.
Or something Byron, something like that. I don't know, man. It's the off season. You want me to look it up? I'll fucking look it up.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Goddamn Rams depth chart.
What is it with
Los
Los Angeles? Is Los Angeles trying to buy their way back into relevance? Byron Young.
Yeah.
Byron Young. These freaking super teams in LA, man. LA's back. The Dodgers.
Yeah, you guys got
Rams.
Tarek Skubal and Myles Garrett.
Yeah, the Dodgers have a chance to field like 4 Cy Young winners in a row.
Do you think they should have one? I don't think that they should change the salary cap rules or anything. I just think that every single game, one of their 4 former Cy Young winners should have to play center field.
That's a good call. Shohei can only DH one of those 4 games. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, Shohei has not won a Cy Young. That was what he was going for this year. That's why his batting numbers are down because he's spending all his time trying to win a Cy Young.
Has he even pitched yet this year?
Oh yeah, he has a 1.89 ERA in like 10 games.
Fucking Christ,
he's
man.
like top 10 in strikeouts.
That was like
he's hurt though. He's hurt. He hasn't pitched in like a month.
Yeah, when Skubal came back from his injury, he had like a 2.06 ERA for the rest of the run before they traded his ass.
Yeah, Shohei is an ERA under 2.
Fucking ridiculous, man.
It's insane, dude.
But what's his on-base percentage? Someone call it Billy Bean. I got questions about Shohei.
It's lower. His he's only going to hit like 34 home runs this year.
I think Jonah Hill's going to have some Shohei.
weak.
Yeah, I think Jonah Hill's going to have some Shohei Ohtani complaints. That's all I'm saying.
Isn't that funny when you're like, well, he might win a Cy Young, but like he only hit 30 home runs instead of 50. So kind of a down Shohei year.
As someone who is living in Chicago right now, I am just constantly worried about getting hit in the head by home run balls from the White Sox. So,
yeah, the Bombers, the Southside Bombers, dude.
Yeah, I just every day
I might be back in on the White Sox. I might be a White Sox fan umbrella. Again.
Stop. You root for your goddamn Tarek Skubals.
I was always a White Sox fan, man. You know, that's where I was at. And then, you know, now that team's good. Their lineup is really good.
Guys, I'm starting to think I like this team that was bad. Who are we going with for the worst offseason edition? I'll give you Peter Woods. I'll give you a Blake Miller reach. I'll give you Zaire. Jesus Christ.
Let's do Zaire Franklin because they lost a couple good linebackers on that team, and they replaced him with a bad linebacker at a high cost. Like I would have rather them just re-sign Quay Walker.
Yeah, I agree.
I want to shit on the Packers at least once during this podcast.
All right, final category we got here. What coach is currently sitting on the hottest seat?
I think Kevin O'Connell is the obvious choice.
Is Dan Campbell's seat really that safe, though?
That's what I was about to say. Is like Kevin O'Connell's the obvious one, but what's the fun one?
My case for this is that the only person whose seat is truly safe is Ben Johnson.
Yeah, he's the only head coach of the four where if they win 3 games, he'll probably be around the next year. I think everybody else would be gone.
I think Kevin O'Connell is definitely the hottest, but that's partially because he's betting on Kyler Murray, and he's supposed to be the quarterback whisperer. Like, there's some of it that's going into that is the reputation. They haven't had the success under this head coach that the Lions or Packers have. And they don't have like the newness with him. Like they've all been there long enough, and I just think tensions have run a little short with Kevin O'Connell. And I think if this team misses the playoffs again, he's probably gone. Whereas I think that like Dan Campbell gets another year if he misses the playoffs. I honestly don't know if LaFleur does. I don't know why, but Packers fans seem to hate LaFleur, and I'm like, he might be a top 5 coach in the NFL.
Interesting.
You disagree about LaFleur?
Are we sure?
I don't know, man. His first 3 seasons, he had 13 wins apiece. He's been 10-plus wins time and time again with Jordan Love. His teams always rank at the top of EPA on offense, which is his specialty.
Oh, we got news on Kobe Bryant. Per an update by Adam Schefter, he's suffered a hyperextended knee, bone bruise, and small fracture. He's out 8 to 10 weeks. So not an ACL. So that's good.
Jesus, though. What happened? He get hit by a fucking golf cart?
Did they? I think today was the first day of pads, which is
great. The first padded practice.
Yeah, you'll love to see that.
AJ Brown dislocated his thumb. How about that?
Hang on,
do anything for you?
What does 2 months from now look like? 2 months from now is like week. He'll be back at like week 4.
Who will be back first? Him or Micah Parsons?
Looks like they'll be back around the same time.
Yeah, but give me your guess here.
Kobe Bryant?
Okay.
Because he didn't tear a ligament.
That's fair.
So.
That's fair. Okay, so hot seat. Who are we finally going with here? I would love to have a whole like LaFleur debate with you, but we're an hour and 40 minutes into this podcast, so we probably shouldn't go into like a whole LaFleur debate.
You like LaFleur.
I do.
I think that Bears game they lost in the playoffs was where I went out on him.
Ben Johnson,
good play caller.
Such a good game in that one too. My God.
Yeah, LaFleur got pantsed in the second half of that game. It was like LaFleur had a great game plan coming in, and then coach scared for an entire half. It was really like some England shit, some England Argentina shit, where he tried to park the bus and Ben Johnson got his ass. You know. A Premier League pod coming 2026, fall 2026.
Listen,
here we go.
Listen. I'm saying we just need a good name. We do the 1-year Premier League project.
I can't think of a good one. I'll have to think about it.
We can just call it just talking fake British accents the whole time.
In it football. In it
bruv.
football.
In it football, bruv.
In it football, bruv. Okay. Yeah, it's. I think Kevin O'Connell's the obvious choice here, but we can throw Dan Campbell on the pile if you want.
I think that if we definitively have to pick one, I would go Kevin O'Connell because sometimes the obvious choice is the correct one.
Yeah, like I think Kevin O'Connell's the only guy who would be fired middle of the season.
Yes.
God. No one.
Imagine
right?
stepping in like Brian Flores having to be the interim head coach for the J.J. McCarthy 1-7 Minnesota Vikings.
That's tough.
That's tough.
That's not great.
Probably not getting the head coaching job in Miami after that one, Brian.
Well, I don't think he's going to get a head coaching job in Miami ever, unless it's the Miami Hurricanes, I guess. But
the Catholic team?
Yeah. Is University of Miami Catholic? I got to look this up.
All right, let me see if I can do this off memory. I wasn't writing anything down. For Hot Seat, we picked Kevin O'Connell. Worst offseason edition, Zaire Franklin. Best offseason edition, Kyler Murray. Last place in the division, we picked the Vikings. Division winner, we picked the Packers, much to pain in Tyler Carcara's soul. Worst unit, we picked the Lions defense, I believe, and best unit, we picked the Bears offense.
Miami is no religious affiliation, so
I don't know where you got that from. Should we just start?
There's a lot of Catholics in South Florida. Okay, there's a lot of Catholics in Latin America, and there's a lot.
Should we start claiming certain colleges have religious affiliation? Like, have you ever been to the Muslim University Georgetown?
I think don't they actually have a religious affiliation?
I don't know, man. I don't wake up in the morning
they were
and
Jesuit.
Google. That would be crazy.
Loyola Marymount's Jesuit.
God,
where the Rams are practicing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, Georgetown University is a private Jesuit research university.
That's crazy.
Why do I have that knowledge? Why do I know that?
I don't know. Why do you know that?
You've
been sitting here thinking Miami was a Catholic university. How do you have the Georgetown as a Jesuit university, but you're still batting 500 on if a college has a religious affiliation?
I didn't even apply to Georgetown. I didn't even visit Georgetown when I was picking colleges in high school. How would I know that?
University have a religious slant?
Yes. I don't think it's an official religious university, but they do have a religious college. It's where Martin Luther King Jr. got his doctorate in religion at Boston University.
It's an odd thing to be able to get a doctorate in, if you ask me.
It's pretty important. I think.
Yeah, it's like you're going to write like a doctoral thesis on a thing that the people are like, you got to just have faith, you know?
No, but it's like there's a lot more to it than that. Come on.
I'm pretty sure that's it.
Yeah, that's probably it. There's probably no debate within religion.
No,
you know?
they're a hive mind. They're monolith.
Studying the history of religion.
Name one important historical thing that ever involved religion.
Shit, you're right. I can't.
Yeah, was the Tarek Skubal trade religious involvement? Is that
if you're a Dodgers fan? You know, sort of an ascendant.
Your new messiah.
You know? Yeah. Your new messiah, yeah. Is he even the best pitcher on the Dodgers? Yes.
Yeah, I mean, he's like the best or second best pitcher in the league behind Paul Skeens right now, right?
Yeah.
This is the deepest my MLB bag goes. We need to stop podcasting.
Name another starting pitcher.
Oh, Clayton Kershaw still in the league?
No. He retired.
The Brewers have a starting pitcher.
Jacob Misiorowski.
Is that the Joe Wright movie?
Misiorowski. Jacob Misiorowski. He leads MLB in ERA. He has a 1.63 ERA in 21 games.
Can't wait for the Dodgers to trade for him.
Strikeouts. Oh my God, it's gonna be sick.
You got any plugs on the way out the door here?
No.
No. All right.
No, I got nothing. Chris Sale's having a great year. I didn't even know Chris Sale was that good this year. I love Chris Sale. He was
if you
as a kid.
If you want to tune in for any of our live streams or other podcasts, all that stuff's in the show notes below. Check out townalone.com for anything else we have. Social medias are down there too. I'll be back next week either with Mike or Tyler again for us to do the NFC West because we kept wanting or maybe the AFC West because we really want to talk about Fernando Mendoza.
AFC West, I would do AFC East because I want to talk about the Patriots. I want to do NFC East because I want to talk Commanders with you.
Can I just shortcut you here? Are you just basically saying you don't want to do the NFC or AFC South? Is that really your point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather not talk about them.
All right. Well, we're gearing up for football season, so there's gonna be a lot of football pods going forward. Oh, hey, give me like a 2-sentence take on LeBron to Philly.
seems unreasonable to live in New York and commute to Philly. Seems like more difficulty than it's worth. I'm sure they got nice apartments in Philly.
That is entirely a thing you do because you care about your brand so much that you cannot live outside of one of the two biggest cities in the United States.
Yeah, it's what I mean. JJ Redick lived in Brooklyn when he worked when he played for the Sixers. But
but JJ Redick also went to Duke, so let's not start using JJ Redick as the bastion of good ideas.
That's true. I mean, I'm just saying JJ and LeBron have been hanging out.
Is LeBron older
recently.
than JJ?
Yeah. Was Karl Malone still in the NBA when LeBron started playing basketball? Or
when he started
retired?
playing, no.
When Karl Malone retired in 2002?
2002, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so it was like 4 years out. Never mind. I was trying to think of who's the oldest guy playing in the league when LeBron was playing.
Probably Kareem still. Was Kareem still there?
Yeah, probably Kareem.
He was entering his 61st season. I know that you're usually not on these podcasts. You typically are sequestered over to Baskey, but at the end of the Town Island podcast, we do a shout-out. So, on the way out the door here, would you care to give a shout-out to any pitchers on your Los Angeles Dodgers?
I would like to shout out Tariq Screwball Skewball. He doesn't throw a screwball. I don't know. I couldn't think of it.
Screwball.
Yeah, there's just a couple screwball guys.
I'm pretty sure that's just a thing from The Sandlot, a movie I've never seen.
Now I have to Google who throws screwballs. And now this will be in my brain for 30 years. Fernando Valenzuela. He's retired. Yeah. It's pretty extinct. Yeah, pitch is extinct. Yeah, it'll fuck with your elbow. That's why they don't throw it anymore.
I'm glad that anyone that stayed around for the hour and 40 mark in this podcast got to hear us Google who throws a screwball. With that, let's get out of here.